In this session, we're going to learn from Nancy Hillis, MD. Nancy is an abstract artist, Stanford-trained psychiatrist, and author of the best-selling book, The Artist's Journey, Bold Strokes to Spark Creativity.
Well, I think one of the big issues is that artists tend to put pressure on ourselves to create a fabulous painting, a masterpiece, to paint a painting as good as the last one we did. And so it's so fraught. And really, I think if we can cut through that by kind of cultivating an attitude of experimentation and kind of exploration and searching and finding your way as you paint, I think this can break through that pressure and that tension. Well, I think one of the things that can happen is if an artist is not painting very much, if you're painting every so often, or even once a week, that also puts a lot of pressure on when you do go in there and paint again. And so I think if another way through that is to develop a studio practice where we're exploring and experimenting and working in our art journals a lot. And so no particular piece is precious. You see it more as an ongoing threading through of your work. That's a great question. I've been there so many times myself. I know this. I know that feeling of the longer we wait, the harder it is to get back into the paint, into the drawing, into the sculpture, whatever it is. And so one of the things that has been very helpful for me has been it's kind of the words that I say to myself. So, I've taught a lot of artists to kind of look at what they're saying to themselves. And so if you can, kind of think of your work as exploratory studies or experimental works, then you could, even if you haven't been painting for a while and you're really afraid and nervous and kind of procrastinating and avoiding, you could just say, hey, I'm just going to go in there and do some exploratory studies. And again, back to the art journal. And the art journal may not be an actual book. It might be pieces of paper that you put on your big board or on the table, and you just explore. So that kind of invites you in a big way to just, get back into it. And there's one more thing that really helps, and it's this concept of 0 to 1, which I've written about a lot. And so it comes from mathematics. And this is a very interesting concept where it's the idea that between 0 and 1, that interval is bigger than any other interval mathematically, which is astonishing, but it is the case. And so if you think about going from nothing, 0, to something, 1, is enormous. And so a lot of times I've worked with people, not only artists, but, athletes, 0 to 1, from nothing to something is enormous. So it's like, even if I put my toe in the water, even if I, go in there and work in my little journal, even if I go in and mix paints, that's 0 to 1. And you've done something. One of the things around that comes off of this 0 to 1, which is huge. Starting is huge. Starting anything is huge. Anything that's scary and new is saying yes to it is huge. And then in art, one thing that's incredibly helpful then is this concept that you all have heard of, working in a series. And working in a series is incredibly powerful because, and you also can work with constraint within that series. So that's a whole other topic. This is incredibly powerful. But basically, working in a series takes the pressure off of each painting and actually helps you to go deeper into these iterations, right? So you've done your 0 to 1, you started, then you could do 20 iterations on that. You could create mini starts, which might be the nidus of something new that emerges or some new other series that emerges. And so we really want to keep exploring and we want to keep stepping into the unknown. And I think the way we do that and experimenting is working in a series really invites us to go deeper. And another piece of that is something from evolutionary biology, and it is basically the adjacent possible. It's this concept that, we're searching for something. We're searching for whatever is going to emerge in this painting. And so as we search, within the state of searching actually opens up the next possibility. And only by making that move, that brush stroke, that came out of that search, it creates the new possibility that wouldn't have been there if you hadn't done that search and that move and that brush stroke. So it's continually trying to evolve our work and not repeat ourselves and not stay, oh, this is working and I'm doing beautiful painting, so let's just keep repeating that. We really want to keep evolving and stepping into the unknown as artists.